I definitely want them to inherit his patience. He's very patient. I would love for them to inherit his um, creative bent of mind, and like I said, mine and his, and basically, I hope they get both things from us. He's full of love, so I hope they are like that. That he's just innocently full of love.
Hi guys, we have a really, really special guest and very excited to chat with her. It's literally like all our WhatsApp chats are going to come out as conversation, and quite excited to chat with fitness enthusiast, mom of two, a really, really humble, down to earth person, fellow Ayurveda practitioner, and somebody I really love following because she's just so damn real, man. It's contagious. I love her, and very very excited to chat today with Meera Kapoor. Hey,
Hi, Mansi. How are you?
very well. How have you managed to join in at 8 with no chaos and cries in the background?
I'm never gonna tell. I can't.
Okay. Um, First up, let me congratulate you on an awesome feed. The pandemic saw like a new Meera altogether, right? We just got to know so many different facets about you. Your and I personally am obsessed with all your tips, takes, lives on whether it was your Ayurveda, whether it was the fasting, whether it's the fitness and stuff that you share. It was incredible. So how has this, what are the after effects of the pandemic on you as an individual?
Firstly, I want to say hi to everyone in the comments. Hi to all of you, and thanks for joining. And Mansi, you're always so sweet with everything that you say. I think as an individual, see, the pandemic is a circumstance which has changed a lot of things for so many people and all of us. And I think I kind of found myself in this pandemic because um, I really thought about what are those things that matter to me, what are those things that I really want to lend my voice to. And that's how this all came about because all of these things were actually all inside me. And I think the rush
Yeah.
of a normal world sometimes takes away from who you really are. So this really helped me to get in touch with that, and also, a lot of things which are relevant like health and fitness and wellness and things that I've always enjoyed. Plus, also with everyone being at home, there was nothing but an opportunity to connect. So I
Yeah.
think it worked very well in that
Right.
sense.
Now, I have tremendous respect for parents who had kids under 5 in this pandemic. How did you do it? Like, how did you manage two kids, online school, negativity, and keeping them entertained?
Mansi, I have to say, and the number of times that I have posted about parents and mothers, I haven't actually done that in all these years of actually having been a mom, because the pandemic has been very trying for parents like others.
Yeah.
But there's a unique circumstance where you have these little kids who don't really understand what's going on. You need to help them through it, inform them without instilling some kind of fear in them. So how do you do it? Like, how do we make them go through life as and I don't want to say as normally as possible, but in as um non, without hassling them too much
Yeah.
and without
Yeah.
kind of shaking up their world, because these little kids, for them, their world is basically their home, a couple of friends they have, school, parents, and that's it. Now you've kind of put them inside a house and you're saying you can't go outside, you can't meet your friends, you can't go to school, you have to do school on a screen, you can't go down and play. Their world has completely changed. So yeah, there's a lot, because it's a parent's responsibility to look after the kids and also their well-being. it was very, very challenging, I have to say, because first and foremost, what we wanted to address as parents is to help them through this by making sure that they are feeling safe. And by safe, of course, informing them about COVID, but also, ensuring that little equilibrium that they have in with like mental health, like
Yeah,
the little things that can become big things.
yeah,
And so, what helped was establishing a sense of routine, including certain things which wouldn't normally have been in their routine, like maybe FaceTiming grandparents or
yeah,
FaceTiming friends. Um, we had to substitute the role of a teacher many a times, and I'm sure we're going to talk about that a little later. But um, there was a lot that we needed to do as parents, and I think online school did help. Online classes did help, and I think at the end of the day, you just have to figure out a new normal for the kids. Simple things really help, like getting them to do stuff around the house keeps them busy. Helping them do make their own plans keeps them busy. Like you
yeah,
have to now, they have to grow up faster
yeah,
than we would like, I feel.
yeah,
That sense of innocence was, the
yeah.
bubble was popped a little bit.
We see you and Shahid rush into two different rooms. Like that happened. Like me and my husband kind of split. Like, okay, I'll handle one child. He said, I'll handle one child because एक का internet, एक ने iPad charge नहीं किया, and we're like, towards the end of the night, we were just waiting. Oh my God, we need to wake up and do this all over again tomorrow. So did
Again,
that?
Mansi, I have to tell you that I did put up this meme about Claire on Modern Family on how, she's working the summer with all her post-its so that she
Yeah,
gets one kid-free week. And of
yeah,
course, I was not as manic as that, but I do feel a routine really, really helps
yeah,
figuring out what they're going to do through the day and through the week. Also,
yeah,
I feel overscheduling never helps. There's
yeah,
got to be time where they're doing nothing. Because if we overschedule their time when they're doing nothing, they're going to go mad, you know.
yeah,
So, alone time, I feel, really helped us. Or encouraging the kids to play with each other. A lot
yeah,
of kids who have siblings,
yeah,
they have been able to get through it,
yeah,
because they have each other. At least I know my friends whose kids are by themselves, they have had it tough, but then we stayed in touch with them on FaceTime, and those,
Did
I
you
mean, you
thank
have
to
to.
have two kids? Like I said it every night before I slept. I'm like, thank God. Like I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have to.
I know. I mean, I feel like I'm glad I had them, and they were of an age where, I
They will play.
wasn't getting hassled about feeding them with a bottle, or they're like too small that, they were just, they were independent enough, I feel. Like
Yeah,
for me, I felt that with my kids, and now they're basically themselves on their own, having a
yeah,
ball, having a party, crying it out, but on their own. I mean, deal with it, guys. You gotta do it them. But yeah, the online school bit, I know with fortunately Zen is younger, fortunately or unfortunately, so he doesn't have too much online school. Actually, he doesn't have online school. He just does a couple of classes. And initially, the device division, who gets which device, and don't watch anything on Netflix because bandwidth is gonna get crazy, and we gotta schedule our
oh my
Zoom
God.
calls
I
separately.
the one
The
with that
struggle
problem.
is real.
Totally. Yeah. No, but with all of this, we've also seen this whole fit side of Mira, and I'm like, dude, she's at it, and you've been like religiously working out. I saw the pull up videos as well. You've really like come into your own in many ways in the fitness sense, right? You were anyways a fitness person earlier on, but seen you get fitter. How did you manage to get that time out with all the chaos?
I think it's imperative to get that time off. I think that 1 hour that you spend with yourself,
Yeah,
doing something that really, motivates you. So for me, it's fitness. And I think it's about time that we start thinking about ourselves and our bodies and how we're going to be. And it's not in an aesthetic way, it's not in a superficial way, really. You need to feel strong also to deal with these kids and pick them up and do all of this running around. You better have your A game on, so that 1 hour really helped me to stay balanced and not go crazy. Also, I think it helped with not being like a mental mom. It
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
so it doesn't need, like, of course, I've experimented a lot, and also because of the pandemic, I think, every day is the same. So you can
Yeah.
actually be very consistent, and you can
Yeah.
actually focus, and you can make sure that, yeah, every day this is what I'm doing, right? So this time to this time, I better get to doing something for myself.
Yeah. No, which is great because I feel that in many ways having that routine, having that time for ourselves kind of give us some sort of grounding and stability, right? In many
Yeah,
different
yeah.
ways.
Yeah. And it
Um
helps to overcome
also,
the mom guilt sometimes, because I've faced it a lot, where I feel like
yeah,
I'm on my own a bit too much. But that 1 hour I feel is you know I feel very rejuvenated, and then I really want
yeah,
to go back and like spend time with my kids and do stuff with them. And
yeah.
yeah, it does help.
Yeah. Also, we saw you with a whole bunch, and I know that pandemic kind of made all of us go back to our roots in many different ways, right? But what really, and which I came back to your feed time and again, was for a lot of which was a lot of the Indian wisdom that you were sharing, whether it was about the fasting or whether it was about Ayurveda or stuff that you've been actually using. Um, and you mentioned that that was somewhere there, but it took a pandemic for it to come out on your feed. Um, how are you so, and the reason I ask this is because, 20s to 30s, and it's very late in life that people kind of realize the value of their bodies, right? And we kind of
Yeah.
abuse it at one. You're relatively younger. How did you, how did you go so sane so early, Meera? Like, how are you not in that I want to abuse my body phase?
Of course, I was there. Definitely. I was there very much till, I would say I was pregnant with Zen, because I've just felt like, pregnancy is a license to do what you like, eat what you want. And I was there. I'm still a big time foodie. It's very tough for me to not salivate even while being on Instagram. I can think about food and start salivating. I'm a huge foodie, which is why uh,
Yeah.
finding a form of workout that I love and enjoy really helps to keep that balance. But I did go through that phase where I felt like I can eat what I like and get away with it. But, after two kids, and despite the fact that I had them early on, like under 25, I still feel like, yeah, okay, I think I need to work a little harder, or I feel like I need to be a little stricter than I can. I still, but um, everyone's been through that phase, I think, of where you feel like you can do what you like. I've always, a huge part of me has always been into wellness. So my
Yeah.
day-to-day life is always, I'm always thinking about it subconsciously and subliminally. And then that cheat meal is like an alter ego of mine. So this part of me, which really enjoys Indian wisdom, traditions, wellness, holistic health, this was I just felt this was the right time for it to be spoken of, and that's why it was received so positively.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. So, was it mom? Was it grandmom? How did you get? How are you gonna? How did all of it come into play? Who was the biggest influence in all of this?
um I don't think there was anybody as such, you know. My mom, of course, is a very less is more kind of person. Supernatural in terms of she doesn't like too much makeup, and she's been very easy with her skin and all of that. But I think this is something that I developed. and kind of found inside me. And I felt
Right.
like, sometimes you do have like a calling, right? And I did feel like it was. And for that matter, I was a science student and I had taken, physics, chemistry, math, and economics in grade 11 and 12. And I really wanted to take biology as well. And I actually wanted to be a doctor. But this was the set combination. So either you take economics or you take biology, and I loved economics. Fortunately, I went through a year hating physics, and fortunately, my school allowed me to skip physics and take biology instead. And then I was like, yeah, this is really what I want to do. I mean, I want to understand what happens inside the human body. I want to understand how things work. I want to understand what affects what are those processes. And kind of, I think that's where it came from. So then I just built on it. And I've always had a bent towards alternative medicine because my grandfather was a homeopath. So it kind of all came together, I think.
Right. Everybody is asking on equal parenting. Do you feel like
Hmm.
family practices equal parenting, and both of you all have different roles? And especially we're talking on the cusp of Father's Day coming up, and how's that balancing out between the two of you all? Do you all fight like, oh, I did this, now you do this? Does that happen? Like we do this all the time.
It used to happen. It used to, but I think both of us were. I, I'm so happy that both of us are in sync. We are both in
Uh-huh.
sync because I feel like co-parenting is really important, and it's absolutely essential to keeping yourself and your family happy and sane. Because you know what, parenting, you're a parent once you become one. You're a parent till the rest of your life. It's an endless job, but you don't need to make it endless without any breaks.
Yeah.
And that's where co-parenting really helps because, and regardless of the amount of help that you may have, at the end of the day, as parents, you're the ones who kind of structure the family, its dynamics, the values that you want to set in. And that's when I feel like, Shahid and I are completely in sync with that, and we're also very good at different things. So once in a while, we both get to, tap the other one out and say, okay, I think you need to handle
Let
the situation.
you fight like, let me
Yeah.
be at the front one, because I'm more in control or any bit of it, or I'm more
I, I
informed.
kind I think that he knows that I'm more involved on a
Yeah.
day-to-day basis. But now even that has changed because actually even Shahid's very involved even on a day-to-day basis. And I think it's great. I think during the pandemic, I'd hope that other, fathers have realized what mothers typically are supposed to be doing and sharing that load. So I think that balance is good. I'm good at one thing, Shahid's good at another thing. He's extremely patient. I'm very meticulous. So I'm damn good with their routines, but he's amazing with meltdowns, you know.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
helps.
No, absolutely. I think one thing that the pandemic has taught all of us is to pick and choose our strengths, right? Like what are
Yeah.
we at, right? Like, and I always thought that it was never me versus you, but it was us together and what we're good at. But I always feel like, at least my kids, they're much older, they knew how to manipulate one and get it from the other. So they knew that dad is
Always.
more lenient on time, and when it's a no from mom, or okay, we'll ask dad, okay. And then they talk in these sign languages, especially when you're on a call. Like my kids actually, while I'm on this live, are like, iPad. And literally, like if they could cut my thumb and put it on that iPad, they perhaps do. So, did that happen? Do these little ones manipulate you guys and get their way out?
They are smarter than we think, but we are now on to them. We know how to deal with those two. And yeah, coming back to, co-parenting, I think it's the two of us and the two of them. And I think we're a pretty solid match for each other.
Yeah, I wish. I want to make my husband watch this a little
But fingers
later.
crossed it stays like this.
You have no, yeah, you have no idea. Yeah, I mean, I'm dealing with it almost teenager, Mira, and I feel like, my God, what was I doing when I was 12? How did I not have brains like these, right? Which is, but they're also, I just feel like you said that we've grown up so much faster. Our kids have grown up even
Yeah.
faster. So it's, I mean, kudos to them for managing it the way they have. I want to ask you this, that and I know that the last time I interviewed this, I asked you this even then, but obviously, Misha was just born then. With the abundance of so much that you have, how do you manage to keep them grounded, especially now that they're more interactive, more social, they started going out, meeting other people? How do you keep their heads grounded?
It's good so far. I really don't want to, bite my tongue later on. I think both Shahid and I have spoken about it so many times about the value system that we want our family to be built on. And we're very consistent with that. I think also having the kids be in touch with their grandparents
Yeah,
is super helpful. We're all living in either nuclear families or now because of the pandemic in separate homes. But it is that generational wisdom which inculcates a sense of respect in children because they get unfiltered love and all they
yeah,
expect in return is love and respect. That in itself really helps the kids. I think the second thing would be restraint. I can't stress on this more. We can give our kids what we like, and that it's regardless of what you do. You know, everyone has a certain, you know, certain amount, and you can do how much ever you like for those kids. But holding back is far more important than saying that I want to give everything to my child. That's the only way
yeah,
that they learn how to work hard for something, how they learn to appreciate something. If they break something, they're not going to get it easily. And even my 2.5 year old knows that. He's broken his one toy, he's not going to get it again for some time. And that's how you have to hold you have to be strong. Of course, you want to give your kids something, you want them to enjoy, especially in the pandemic. You want to give them something nice every now and then so that they don't feel sad and that they don't feel bad. But things can't always be what makes them happy. So then you got to give them
right,
things which are priceless. And I don't want to sound very like cheesy, but give your time to them, or play
yeah.
with them, read to them, maybe watch a movie together rather than switching on the iPad for them and be like, okay, fine, I'll give you half an hour of iPad time if you leave. Restraint in a world of excess
Abundance.
goes a long way. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you spoke of core values, what are the two or three core values that kind of bind the Kapoor family?
I would say number one, respect for each other, for parents, for the ones who help you at home, for people's time. I think now kids realize when we are working from home how to respect one's time, one's space. That number one. Number two, gratitude. Which again comes from the same place of whatever you have, you must be grateful for it. Our kids know that Papa goes away because he has to earn, and I mean, we've not said it in those terms, but basically they know that he's going away so that you can have the things that you use on a daily basis. And that really helps them to be grateful for his time, or be grateful for the things that he gets them, or for the things that we give them, or for the things that, I think gratitude in general, the fact that, you need to let them know when they are ready. There are people who may not have what you have.
Yeah,
And those are tough conversations to have, and each family will find their own way around it. But respect, gratitude, and I think an absolute no for bad language. And I think a lot of respect and gratitude, um, always comes for, because a lot of us have help at home who help us with our kids. That's where it actually starts. They
Yeah.
can, it needs to extend till there. I mean, for us, my didis are like family to me. So they cannot speak badly to them. They have to be respectful towards them. Um, they have to thank them for everything that they do. And these small little things like saying three golden words, inculcating
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
helps. Doing something for somebody else without expecting something in return. These are all those old school things which are actually not old school, because we've
Yeah.
forgotten them. We reach a place where we feel like, oh God, our kids are getting spoiled.
Right. Right. Okay, before we move on to the rapid fire, somebody's asked a very interesting question. How are you keeping your kids off junk? Sakshi's actually.
Uh, yeah, it's tough. I'm not gonna lie, Mansi. Because you got to pick your battles, right?
Yeah.
So if it's not giving them too much screen time, then you got to maybe give them something nice to have every once in a while. Um,
Yeah.
it isn't easy. I have to admit, like I do find myself giving them a cookie now and then, so that it's a small bribe. It's not a it's better than half an hour of an iPad. But yeah, most
Yeah.
of the time the kids do eat healthy. So, you know, well,
Yeah.
the struggle is real.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, let's quickly hop on to our one word answers, and you've got to be as swift as possible. Okay, so let's see and
Okay.
try and answer in a word if possible. Okay. When it comes to parenting, you're guilty of.
Too much screen time for myself, maybe.
Okay. One word you want to erase from your dictionary.
Sanitize. I'm quite done with
Huh?
that.
I love that one. One song that describes mood right now.
Mm, my mood, I think a song that's actually
Or
that I enjoy listening to right now is the new remix of Jalebi Baby. I actually
uh,
always liked Jalebi Baby, and now there's a remix with Jason Derulo, so I'm enjoying that one.
okay. One thing you can't give up.
Mm, my phone, uh,
Last, how much time you spend on Instagram every day?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Okay, that gives me the answer. Check if okay. Cutest memory with the kids in the pandemic.
So many. Once we had a movie night, like we made our own little sleep-in movie theater. We just removed all the furniture, put some gaddas. We did that. Cycling together with the kids, because both the kids can cycle now. That was amazing. It was just us cycling together. That was also really fun. Um, yeah, I think those were like two of the cutest moments that we had together.
Okay. One thing you tell yourself when part of your brain says no workout, I want to sleep for 5 minutes more. What do you tell yourself then?
Usually I tell myself, usually I tell myself if I work out, I can have the chocolate. But then I eventually don't have the chocolate.
Okay, I'm gonna try that. Yoga or cross training?
Both, both.
You gotta choose one. Come on. Which is like your
Um,
one that you'll go back to.
I do like the adrenaline rush, so I like strength training and Metcon a lot, and I actually incorporate a lot of my yoga stretches into it for warm up. So yeah, I would say Metcon.
Okay. One book that you're tired of reading to your children.
This Peppa's something to Peppa books, basically. All the Peppa books.
Good.
I'm tired of saying, yeah, I'm really done with Peppa now. She needs to find a new home.
One that's playing on your mind on repeat.
One what? I didn't hear you there.
Nursery rhyme or a song or a children's song.
Um, the PJ Masks, the PJ Mask tune. It's
Yeah.
addictive. It just sits in your head and refuses to leave.
Okay. One thing that worries you most while raising your children, the question you keep asking yourself now and again.
Well, the honest answer I would be is that the honest answer would be two. One would be, um, are they going to talk to us as openly when they grow up? And the second one would be, I always wonder, I hope we can keep them as grounded as they are now and as grounded as we hope them to be.
Okay. One quality you don't want of yours in your children, and one quality that you do want them to inherit from you.
Mine. Okay, I'll tell you what I do want them to inherit of mine. I think I'm quite structured and organized, and I was a very studious uh, kid, and I enjoy academia in general. I hope they take to that also, apart from the other things, but yeah. So I hope they take on this structured, formatted way of life that I have. And one thing that I don't want them to inherit of mine is I like to sleep a lot. So I love naps. So I hope when they're older, they can do away with it.
Interesting. And one quality you want them to inherit from Shahid and not inherit from Shahid as well.
I definitely want them to inherit his patience. He's very patient. I would love for them to inherit his um, creative bent of mind, and like I said, mine and his, and basically, I hope they get both things from us. Um,
Actually,
so yeah,
creativity.
patience. Yeah. Now you asked, so I might as well. And yeah, so he's very patient and he's full of love. So I hope they are like that. That he's just innocently full of love. Um, and I think one thing that I don't want them to inherit of his, he's I don't know. I mean, it's good or bad. I mean, sometimes I feel like, uh, he gets a bit particular about things, and I would like them to be a little more spontaneous like me.
Yeah. No, which is a good. It's a good bad. It's a good bad to
Yeah, it's a
have.
good bad. It's a good bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Bad. Okay. One thing that parenting has taught you: patience.
Mm,
Say it.
definitely. Yeah.
All
I mean,
over.
nothing could have taught me patience more than this. So yeah, patience and mm, putting putting yourself, not putting yourself first all the time, I would say.
Yeah. Somebody actually asked me this that why do you think anyone should have kids? And I said, I don't know for any other reason if I can love someone more than myself ever. And I mean, I know marriage and parents and all of that, but like, I think having children is, I think, the most selfless form of love that I've ever experienced. I don't know
Yeah,
about you.
totally. It's the
It's just
nature of the relationship.
absolutely, absolutely. Okay, fun one. How do you sneak in me time? How much time do you spend in the bathroom looking at your phone?
Um, well, if you're counting bathrooms as me time, then I get a lot because I'm perpetually sneaking into the bathroom. But overall, I think um, scheduling it in. I mean, that has to happen. I kind of
Right.
work it into my day that this is the time, that this is when I'm going to be on my own. So I'm going to plan for this for the kids.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna sneak in a one. Let me see if she answers this, guys. One thing you love about Kids Talk Press? I must ask you this.
I love how relatable Kids Stop Press is. It's as real as it gets. So
Oh,
yeah, I mean, there
thank you.
it's not pretentious.
Thank you so much. And of course, the last one, which everybody wants to know, one word that describes Meera the mom.
Uh, Mean Girls. I'm not a regular mom. I'm a cool mom.
Yeah. Yeah. I keep telling myself that I'm a mean mom, but I think I say that to my girls, but obviously it doesn't that even that doesn't make a difference these days. So I don't know what will. Meera, thank you so much. You've been incredible as always, spontaneous as we love it. So much chatting with
Thank
me
you.
today, and
Yeah, this was a lot of fun, Mansi.
I know it's been two
Thanks for
years.
doing this.
Thank you.
I know it's been a long time. I hope everyone had a good time, and we are just being totally candid, and yeah, take things
Totally.
with a pinch of salt, be happy and be safe.
Yeah, we last met at the Peppa event. So that Peppa's gonna be out of your life soon.
Yes. Yeah. There are a couple of others who need to leave my life now too, but one at a time.
Totally. And thank you everybody for tuning in and please feel free to
Thanks,
share.
everyone.
Yeah. Thanks, Meera, for joining in.
Bye,
Bye.
guys. Take care. Be safe.